Hello and welcome back to the railway. I completely forgot to show this clip last week, the Princess Royal with her very tatty boxes. This week we're going to have R.559, Trying Railway's 040 diesel shunter. The model was available between 63 and 67. But before we do that, we're just going to have a look at the EM2 with those same maroon coaches the Princess Royal had last week. This was inspired by seeing page 8 and 9 of 1961 catalogue. Let's have a look. There comes the Princess Royal with those beautiful maroon coaches, and up comes the EM2. We'll bring them both to a stop here, and then we'll bring the Princess Royal through points number 8. Through she comes, and then we'll close those and open number 11 and change 13 in the sidings. And then back she goes. Nice gentle stop there. And we'll close points 11 and bring up the EM2. Nice smooth coupling there, and off she goes. Effortlessly with those. Now that's quite a heavy load for that locomotive. A lot of friction on those wheels. Let's see how she does with the incline. And just look at that. She seems to climb up there effortlessly. Just look at those coaches. A little bit of a wobble on those. Around off into the distance, over the suspension bridge. I'm really glad I took the time to run this set together. And down she comes, off the power a little bit to slow it down. Excellent, those coaches. And I love this shot here, looking underneath the catenary as she comes into the bend. And off under the inclined section she goes. And we're going to bring her around past the station and onto the inside line, across points number 8 there. Smoothly through. Once she's all the way through, we'll bring her to a gentle stop around here and close number 8 again. Open number 11 and change number 13. And gently back into the station. And just keep an eye on those pantographs with all that overhead wire work there, nice and smooth. Gentle stop up here, and then we'll close number 11. To get the little shunter from the sidings, we need to open 18, and then switch 17 so the power goes to the turntable and not the sidings. And then we'll need to rotate the turntable anti-clockwise. And then move up the little shunter onto the turntable, and then we'll rotate clockwise, and then we'll gently move her off towards the points. It's a little bit sticky on the points here, and then we'll close points 18 there, and we'll bring her past the brick wagons, and we'll go beyond point number 1. There's only a 2-wheel pickup on this model, a little bit sticky, and we'll bring her to a stop there, and then we'll open points 1, and then we'll bring her back across the points to collect the first 3 wagons. Nice smooth collection there, and off she goes. Once she's got a bit of movement, she gets over those points quite nicely. And then we'll switch points 2. And then we'll bring her back to collect the rest of the brick wagons and the brake van. Again, nicely coupled there, and then off she goes. Quite a lot of power on the level ground here. Nice and smoothly through, we'll close the points behind them. This little 040 diesel shunter seems to be doing quite well with this rake of 5 brick wagons. There's a lot of friction here. These have all got the old-fashioned sleeved wheels with the open axle boxes. They look great coming through there. We're going to bring it to a stop, and then we're going to open the crossover points number 9. We're going to bring across the diamond crossing into the passing loop, nicely behaved there, and then we'll bring her to a stop, and then we'll bring her back across onto the inside line, close 9 behind her, and we'll bring her back around. And we'll open point 18 and back across onto the turntable. And then we'll rotate counterclockwise bring her off back to where she came from. Nice and gently, and a smooth stop there. So this time I think we'll just take her off the track and we'll pop her on the bench and have a look at her along with her box. Looking in a little more detail here from the side, and we've got steps at both ends. And we've got a toolbox here in the middle of the footplate there, and the BR logo is printed on there quite nicely, although it is quite large. And we've got vents running along the sides of the bonnet. We've got a little plate riveted in here, and we've got a chimney or exhaust vent on the top of the bonnet. The rest of the bonnet is completely plain, no more detail to be had there. And looking on the cab sides here, we've got this riveted plate with D21907, again quite large numbering. And we've got some handrails moulded in, and a door handle there. No glazing in the windows. And we've got a little riveting across the top of the cab roof here, and also a hatch there. And now looking from behind, we can see we've got a couple of windows in the back, a little bit of detail just below them, I'm not quite sure what it is, and we've got what looks like another toolbox here. We've got triangle metal buffers there into plastic shanks which are part of the body moulding with a little riveting around them. What looks like a hook moulded in there, standard triangle decoupling. And the detail down this side of the model is identical to the other side. And looking at her from the front, again this buffer beam is quite basic, just the detail where the buffer shanks meet the main part of the body, a little bit of riveting. We've got another hook moulded in there, and standard triangle decoupling on the front there, and just some big vents in the front of the bonnet there. Looking at her from underneath, we can see the collection plate here with the wire pickup. We've got a single connection rod between each wheel, all very basic, and the couplings are just screwed in with a flathead screw. Now at this end it's screwed into the bodywork, and the back end of the coupling stops the chassis falling out of the body, and the chassis hooks into the bodywork at the back here, all very basic. And we can just see the triangle name just in there. I don't know if I tilt that you can see that a little better. And here we've got built in Britain on this side. And here we have the box she came in, Triangle Railways. So it's built in Britain by Rovex Scale Models Limited. And if we look at the end there, you can see R.559 040 diesel locomotive, green livery. We'll have a look at the other end. We can see it's still got the toy shop name on it here. And it was gaumages 27 and 6, Department 59. It's quite nice to have that still on there, and it's still taped at this end. And if we open it up, we've got the very basic paperwork that came with her. Two pieces of paperwork. The first is the instruction manual, and that's dated 12th of the 2nd, 64, and there's the model number R559. And these instructions covered all of the range really. It's quite comprehensive in setting up track and basic maintenance and track plans, how to oil them. And it was a fairly universal thing, they had the different chassis in there also. And then the second piece, paperwork, was their servicing scheme. And it just lists their dealers. Here we can see they're from Aberdeenshire through to Cumberland, Cheshire, the Channel Islands. And it goes on, huge network of dealers. And look, we have dealers in Singapore and Uruguay and New Zealand. Here we go, back on the track now. Model R559, 63 to 67. She started out life in 62 as R557, a clockwork model in blue with red wheels and no connection rods. In the late 60s, she became model R756 as part of the Battle Space range in an orangey red colour with a sticky paper label here with the Battle Space logo on it. I think now we'll get the B12 out to to get the brick wagons around onto the incline. This little diesel shunter is not capable of pulling all those brick wagons up the incline. Tiny little wheels and no maghesion. Let's see how we do with the B12. So we're going to rotate the turntable clockwise so it lines up with track 3, and then we'll need to change points 14B, and then we'll move her out along the track up onto the bridge here, and then we're going to continue clockwise so we get a turn right around. Now she's lined up with the outlet track. Off she goes, and then we'll close points 18 behind her, and around the first radius curve and along past the station here. We'll bring her to a stop just by the gasometer, and then we'll open points number 8, the crossover, and we'll take her out onto the outside line, and we'll close those behind her, and then up beyond points number 5. And we'll open 5 and then 6 onto the passing loop. We'll bring her back gently down, and we'll pick up these wagons. Definitely got those. Smoothly off, building up the power now. A very heavy load this. It's looking good. Will all those wheels behave over those points? It looks great going through there. And then we'll close number 6 and number 5. Now passing underneath the elevated section and coming down underneath all those double gantries effortlessly along that straight, and as she climbs there's no slip there. Smoothly up that R16 brake van on the back there, off into the distance towards the suspension bridge. Off she goes, and now we'll bring her around, and as she begins to drop down the incline we'll slow her right down, and we'll bring her to a stop, and then we'll have a closer look at these wagons. And there she is, Trying Railways B12, standing in for the little diesel shunter. I don't think she would have pulled hers up the incline. And the B12 was available from 1963 to 69 and offered with smoke as an option from 64 onwards. There's model number R150 and tender R39. And we'll move on to this rake of 5 brick wagons. All 5 are slightly different shades of plastic, as the brick loads are as well. They're all slightly different colour, all different batches of plastic. And then we finished off the rake with the R16 brake van. So I've just taken a couple of these wagons off. This is the brake van, R16. We'll have a quick look at this. And the moulding detail consists mainly of planking. We've got the lookout for the guard here and a couple of walkways. The numbering on these varied over the years. It was also available in grey. Originally it had a metal chassis. This one has a plastic one. We'll just have a quick look underneath, and then we can see she's got metal axles, plastic wheels, and the axles are pinpoint. If we have a look around, we've got the Triang standard decoupling here. The buffers are just moulded onto the chassis. So we'll just pop that back down. We'll just have a look at the roof. Again, very basic, just consists of a number of vents and these drip rails. We'll just move it around over here, and we've got the Triang Railways box that she came in, window box, and it's pre-66 I think, because it has Triang Railways on it. And we have a look around at the end here, and it says R16 ER brake van, and it was 5 shillings. And it's still taped at this end, and that's quite a nice thing to have. We'll just turn that around. 2 of the brick wagons I've got came boxed, and it says R.219 Bogie brick wagon, and this one was 6 shillings and 9 pence. And we can see where the tape used to be on these. These are nice old Triangle Railways boxes. Not everybody's cup of tea, the boxes, but if I've got boxes I'll try and show them. We'll just put those to one side. Now that was model number R219, and if we look in the catalogue, that was without the brick load. It was available slightly later with the brick load as model number R240. The brick wagon itself was available from 1959 to 67, and it's covered in detail. And just look at that, it's got all sorts of rods and levers, and the planking is beautiful with all these metal straps with riveting on and clasps. And if we have a look underneath, you can see there it says Triang R219, and this has got the older style sleeved axles. You can see if you pull the wheel apart, you can see the axle between the two, so there's a lot of friction with these, so it's quite a heavy load. That diesel shunter would have stood no chance pulling these up. Detailing runs really nicely around the edges as well. And if we look inside, we can even see it's got planking detail throughout. A very nice model. So we'll just pop her back on the track there. The brick load, I can't find any reference to this being available as a separate item, but these two models did come with it in the box. And it does have a part number in here, and that's S5361. So a very simple moulding, but very effective. And we'll just put that one back in. And I think that's it for this week. I'm going to leave you with a bit of wheel slip now, and if you look back next week, we'll have something else from this early Triangle Railways period. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye now.